James? That's day 2.
Day 2, yeah.
And y'all, like we're saying day 2. Like, how long have I been here, James? I got here like what?
Man, you got like 12 maybe?
Dang, it's only 1:15. Y'all, that was maybe
Man.
45 minutes worth of work. This car is coming apart so easily.
It's so simple.
Um,
I
all
spent
right.
I spent more time on the front, honestly, by myself trying to figure out how to pull everything apart.
I see you cut them wires.
I do. So here's the thing with these wires. They're the left-hand side indicator, right? I cut these because they had a rubber grommet that goes over over the bulb, like the fixture. So when I tried to pull them out, the rubber was so like old that it just started to crumble. And so this was the only thing holding the side panel on the car. So I said, it's just we're going to do a rewire anyways, man. These wires, you can tell they're crusty. They barely bend. They're not in great shape. So I figured we're just going to cut them. I left these in so that we could fish it through if we needed to. So that we had something to reference when we do a rewire.
Well, that's something else that we need to do. So we like how we mark the bag to bolts. We need to mask and tape the wires.
Okay.
All right, this one the side marker, this one the blinker, this one the headlight, stuff like that. I know some of y'all might be like, dang, they've never done this before, and they want to do all this rewiring and rust fixing and sheet metal work, and we're being very ambitious. Y'all, we are being very ambitious. But this is how you learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to save what we can save. We're not going to throw the whole wiring harness out and redo the whole thing. We are going to do a completely new wiring harness for the engine. Both James and myself have pretty much decided we're going to go with the D series. I think, what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetically, I think a single overhead cam will look good in there.
Yeah.
And it's big. So, like Mighty Car Mods, when they do a big block conversion of some of their, like, Daihatsus and all, this will be like a big block. It's only going to be a 1.6. What is that? That's a
1500.
1500?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go, what? A little bit bigger, but 100 cc's bigger, but so much more modern.
Much, yeah.
No, I've seen some guys, they keep the carburetor, they go with 4 carburetors on the side. Personally, I want to go fuel injected. The D series is already fuel injected. We can keep the distributor. However, I would like to go with the full Haltech standalone and do coil-on plugs.
Yeah.
I think it looks better. I think it'll perform better. And y'all, I just want to learn. Like, I've never done wiring. Wiring has never been my strong suit, but I think if I can get into it, have the time, I have the resources. I mean, I think between the two of us, we can
figure it out.
Because you're an IT guy, man, so we can get it going. Are we going to NA, or are we going to try and throw a snail on there?
A what?
A snail, a spinny boy.
A spinny boy.
Spinny boy.
What is that even?
A turby.
A turbo. God, why did you just say that? A snail. I mean, I don't.
We don't have to.
I don't see why not. I mean, so here's the thing. Like this is a project where sky's the limit, right? We can do whatever we want. It really just depends on how much work we're willing to put into it. That's really the only limit to this project. Right now, we know we want to do D series. If we ever get to the point where we get this car on the road, we got the drop, we got the tires, the rust is taken care of, everything is in good shape, we can always come back to this project and say, hey, remember 2 years ago we did, an old 1979 Civic. Surprise, we're doing a turbo. So we can always come back to stuff like that too.
Yep. I completely agree. I think, it's a good idea.
So, all right. Yeah, so we can definitely come back to like a turbo, like we said earlier. But I'm just keen to pull the engine. I'm really, really keen to see how close or how far we can get to restoring the CVCC engine. I know that once we put like a D series in, I'm pretty sure the CVCC engine will never go back in this car. But
I think it'd be more of a project for us both to learn. Get it rebuilt, get it put back together. It won't go back in this car.
It can definitely be another video that we do as well, right? So we take like a crappy engine, we put it on a stand, and we literally rebuild it in front of you guys. And that could be, something we do for people who are aspiring to be mechanics. Obviously we're not professionals by any means, as we said before, but we can easily just learn as we learn and make mistakes. It's something that perhaps that you guys could learn from us and not do on your end when you're rebuilding an engine as well. So, it's another little project. We've got a lot going on, so we'll get through it all eventually.
And that's the other thing. Again, I know we've said it earlier. He's a full-time husband, full-time father. I'm a full-time husband, full-time father. I don't know about you. I work about 50 hours a week, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
He works a whole bunch too, Monday through Friday.
Full time, pretty much. Yeah.
So when it comes to the weekends, we're not going to be out here 2 days a weekend, every single weekend.
Yep.
I'm in the military, so once a month I got drill. So this isn't going to be something like don't plan. Now we do want to upload regularly. Like we're looking at maybe one video a week, hopefully. And if it isn't this, it'll be something else. I have a 370Z. I got some small things I want to do on that. So we'll have filler episodes. But if you're watching this for this car, be patient.
Yeah, definitely.
Might be done in a year. It might be 2 years.
Yeah.
We're not going to give up on it. We're going to keep going, though.
Yep. It doesn't matter if we run into big problems. Like, we also know some people that we can potentially talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe get some advice too, and then we can come back with you guys with the advice we got and try it out on camera and see how it goes. So yeah, it's learning. It's all learning, and as we go through it, the better we're going to become, the faster we'll get. And we plan on doing more cars after this. This isn't the only car we're going to do.
I have been daydreaming, man. I got some cars in mind, but I don't know what I want to do.
We won't talk about those right now, but we'll definitely get into them.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Once we start wrapping this up, we'll start looking for more stuff. And the beauty is, now that we have better equipment to like a stand and stuff for our cameras and stuff, we can take you guys with us and record the purchases. Unfortunately, we couldn't record the purchase on this one, which is unfortunate.
We just weren't equipped for it.
We weren't really equipped for it at the time, but now we are. And if we get the blessing from the owner of the guy we're buying the car from, we'll definitely take you guys along for the purchases of the vehicles. So.
And there is other things. There are some tools we still need to work on this car. I need to get a welding machine. Some people are like, oh, just go buy a used one. I'm not a used kind of guy. Oh, go buy Harbor Freight. Listen, Harbor Freight is great, y'all. But in my experience, if you're buying a tool from Harbor Freight, if the tool can kill you, if it's breaks while you're using it, don't buy it from Harbor Freight. And if you want quality, so for example, my dad, when he first started welding years ago, back in I think the year 2000, he was building a Mustang for a race car, and he went to Lowe's Home Improvement, and he bought a welding machine from there, a little MIG welder, gas, and it was a piece of crap. Now he didn't know that. So when he was doing his weld, it was just spitting and spattering and blobbing. You couldn't do a straight bead, and he got discouraged. My dad is he's a go-getter, but he was getting discouraged. So I don't know what caused it. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get this ESAB, and he went and bought an ESAB welding machine. Dude, it welded so good. So my point to that is, I want to get a good welding machine, and I'm currently looking at an Eastwood. It's a TIG welder, which is way more time consuming than a MIG.
Yeah.
But I think it'll work because a MIG is great, it's quick, but I think for the body work, I think for a lot of sheet metal, I think a TIG would be better.
Yeah.
And it can be done. It's a smaller bead, there's less grinding, and the heat is more focused in the one spot, so you're less likely to warp the panels.
Yeah.
It's not as quick as a MIG, but again, that costs money.
Right. It comes down to. I'm also thinking right now too, as we sit here talking about this, we might actually, when we get to that point and the weather's better outside, we could do this in the driveway too, get better lighting as well, and get outside too for the fumes.
Yeah, we're gonna get LED lights in here. We're gonna get this done right, y'all. As you can tell from this video, we got microphones now. We got a stand, so we're evolving. It's just gonna take a little bit of time, growing pains. But I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does that 20-gallon air compressor work?
Yeah, it does.
Yes. All right. So that's going to help us out so much, y'all. We're going to get some air tools in here.
That's the one I was telling you about with the plug on the bottom. I thought it was going to blow up on me. But yeah, it works. We just got to look. Kind of got to look at it, I guess.
That's perfect. Cause I got a 5-gallon, but it's not enough. But that'll be perfect for us.
Okay.
So all right. So we got that. We need to get some other tool, like I said, a welding machine. We need to get a chop saw with the metal cutting disc. A bandsaw, but when I say a bandsaw, I don't mean like a nice industrial size, but we do need some type of bandsaw to, nice cuts on sheet metals. Because guys, that rust, y'all seen it, it's that whole floor pan has to get cut out.
Yeah, we're gonna do some cutting on that.
And that's too easy. We're gonna get some sheet metal. We'll get some proper gauge. I gotta do some research to figure out what thickness to go with, and we're gonna do it, y'all. We're gonna try and do as much as we can ourselves. We're not gonna try to outsource. Now, with that being said, these seats.
That's
Listen,
upholstery.
That's
issues.
upholstery. Hey,
I'm not good with a sewing machine. I'm not even gonna lie. I've tried. It's not great.
we'll pay somebody for that.
Yeah.
So unless you happen to know somebody that's got some nice black or blue ones, I'm digging the blue.
I like the blue because it just kind of goes with everything. You know?
If we're gonna get reupholstered, we can do any color we want.
That is true. But then we're gonna go to think of the doors as well.
Yep.
Because those are blue.
Well, we got to think of the whole car
And
because
then the back as well is also blue.
that's another problem. So we were talking about painting the car white and red and silvers.
Yeah.
That blue interior is not gonna match.
It's not
for any of them colors.
So we're gonna
white maybe.
We'll look at it. We'll look at it if we have to go back blue, whatever.
And if you happen to have one of these Civics that you got a good black interior, because black matches any color.
It does, yes.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. It's a little bit longer video. I think this could be a long ass video.
Yeah, well, we got edits, you know, it's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna edit, but
we'll snip it down for you.
Hey, thanks y'all for watching. I had a lot of fun today.
I did too. It was a blast taking this thing apart.
Hey, these seats came out in what? 5 minutes, if that, for both of them.
The only crappy part about the whole thing was looking at the rust. You know, in all honesty, like everything else was just a pleasure. It just came undone as it was intended.
But to be fair, at least for me, I knew the rust was there, so it wasn't like, oh crap.
Okay, so I knew that the rust was there, but this is the first time I even saw it myself. I'm not discouraged. But I'm just like, oh boy, that's a big hole. But we got this. I
got a side grinder with some cut-off wheels. We'll get a Sawzall, just snip that out of there.
Yep.
And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. So we're gonna go with the D series, coil unplugged, fuel injected. We talk about maybe putting a turbo on there one day in the future. Let's get let's get the car working first. Yep. But why not go ahead and build the base, so we'll need to come back later. So with that being said, we can get a nice fuel cell in there. Fuel cells are already safer. This car is so dang small.
Yes.
You don't want to get rear-ended in this thing.
No.
At all. But if you got a fuel cell, that's just one extra little blanket. Yep. Again, it's not a race car, but you know, a fuel cell, we can put our electric pumps in there.
It's like a touring car, honestly. Something you take to the mountains or go on like a cars and coffee kind of situation.
Let's put it this way. We want to build a car that's fun for us to drive, but that our wives also want to ride in.
Exactly. For sure.
But no backseat.
But no kids. Just kidding. Yeah, so all right, cool. Well, that's what we got for you today. We're gonna wrap it up and we'll check you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
Until then, peace. Oh God, I'm too fat. Oh no, my seat.